Hi everyone, welcome to Mindful Monday. I'm Connie Bowman. If you're new to this class, we practice every Monday and offer a gentle start to our week with some yoga, some mindfulness, and a sprinkling of goodness. So I'm glad you're here. And I'd like to offer our beginning shape to be seated, and I usually place a blanket underneath my butt. So if you have a blanket and you just want to slide your hip flesh out of the way and sit up on that blanket, it gives you a little more length, gives you that illusion of, I don't know, good posture. Which is what we're going for. So go ahead and place your blanket or your towel under your hips and sit up nice and tall. Take a moment to notice your breath as you brighten your posture. We make a little more space in our lungs when we do that, so it's a little more amenable to a deeper breath. Take another breath and an exhale out. And welcome to your morning. Welcome to your week. Glad you joined me because I frankly need it. And this regular practice of yoga is helping me stay during these challenging times. So, as we navigate these times, I'm going to offer a little reading from one of my favorite authors, Jan Richardson. This is The Cure for Sorrow, a book of blessings for times of grief. And this is a blessing she calls stay. So I'll begin our practice with a portion of that as you close your eyes and settle in and begin to take some deeper breaths. Jan Richardson writes, "I know how your mind rushes ahead, trying to fathom what could follow this. What will you do? Where will you go? How will you live? You will want to outrun the grief. You will want to keep turning toward the horizon, watching for what was lost, to come back, to return to you, and never leave again. For now, hear me when I say, all you need to do is to still yourself, is to turn inward, to turn toward one another, is to stay. Wait and see what comes to fill the gaping hole in your chest. Wait with your hands open to receive what could never come except to what is empty and hollow." Let's take another breath. Fill up. And then a big exhale through your mouth, and then blink your eyes open and take your right hand up toward your nose. We'll practice a little pranayama before we move through some yoga postures. So using your thumb, we'll block off the right nostril, and then as we switch, we will block off the left nostril with the ring finger. So this is alternate nostril breathing, really good for integrating right and left sides of the brain and just calming us down and bringing us to this present moment. So let's practice just briefly. And so just take a big deep breath. And as you exhale through your nose, we'll block off that right nostril with the thumb. Inhale through the left nostril. And then block that nostril off with the ring finger and exhale through the right nostril. Good. Inhale through the right nostril. And close that off with the thumb. Release the ring finger from the left and exhale through the left. And inhale again through the left. Close that one off and exhale through the right. You can close your eyes here. Inhale right. Close that off with the thumb and exhale left. Inhale through the left nostril. Close that off with the ring finger and exhale right. Good. Inhale right. And exhale left. Let's just go a little while longer. Inhale left. And exhale right. Good. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. And exhale right. Just release your hands. Let your palms face up. Let your shoulders draw down away from the ears and just pause here and be still. Notice the effects of the pranayama. And as you're ready, slowly flutter your eyelashes open and switch the cross of your legs. We'll be here just for a few more moments. Inhale, reach up, look up. Let your palms come together and then take your chin to your chest, bow to your own heart as you let your hands come to Anjali Mudra, the mudra of the angel's prayer pose. Create an intention for your practice here. Take another big breath in. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale your hands to heart center and your chin to your chest. Good. Breathe in, reach up, look up, and exhale again. Hands to heart center, chin to chest. And then just release your hands and take a gentle turn of your neck toward the right. Notice what you see. And then a semicircle over to the left. Notice what you see. Take a couple more. And then if you feel ready, make some circles. Imagine you're drawing a big circle in front of you with your nose. Good. And then switch directions. Awesome. Take your arms out wide. Inhale, reach up, look up, let your palms touch, and then take yourself over to the left. Take a side bend, look right. Inhale, reach up, look up, let your palms touch, and side bend left, right, sorry. Inhale, reach up and look up. Take your palms to the floor in front of you. Maybe walk your fingertips ever so slightly forward. You can take your chin to your chest and bow. And this will be our sequence here, just moving slowly as you breathe. Exhale as you side bend. And inhale as you reach up and look up. And exhale to side bend. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, bring your palms to the floor or fingertips and bow. Good. Inhale, one more. Root to rise, reaching up, leaning side to side, just swaying like the wheat in the breeze, the flowers in the breeze, the trees in the breeze. Bring your palms forward. And we'll pause here. Let your chin come down to your chest. Tune into your lower back and your hips as you breathe. Take a nice full breath in, and then walk your hands all the way back. And we'll come up to a tabletop. And so if you're on a hard surface, you might want to take your blanket and place it under your knees, smoothing out all the wrinkles, being kind to yourself. Let the tops of your feet rest on the floor and spread your fingers nice and wide. Press into all the joints of your fingers, bringing some blood flow there and also some support for your wrists. So the wrists are not taking all the weight of our body. You can, Sophie, shake it out. Sophie's my dog. She loves to shake her tail when she's excited. So Sophie, shake it out. Just get ready. Find stillness and inhale, drop your belly toward the floor, lift your tailbone and the crown of your head. Come into a cow pose, press the mat away. Drawing those elbow creases toward one another. Exhale as you round forward, bringing your chin back to your chest, bringing your belly to your spine, your tailbone points toward the floor. Good. Inhale as you come into your cow pose. Shoulders draw down away from the ears, and exhale as you round, just bringing some suppleness to that spine. Good. A few more. Move through this at your own pace, moving with your own breath, finding that rhythm that speaks to you this morning. Staying with each breath, each moment as we move through this practice. Letting the breath be the anchor that we need to be able to stay. Good. We'll take one more round here. And then we'll move into a melting heart pose. So melting heart pose is one where we keep our hips over our knees and we walk our hands forward and let our chest and our forehead come to the floor, elbows on the floor, and just pause here as you let your heart melt toward the floor. So a little bit more of a shoulder stretch, a little bit more of a chest and heart opener. So be gentle with yourself as you move into this shape. And if this is just too much for your shoulders, you can always move into a child's pose by widening your knees on the mat, bringing your big toes to touch and sinking your hips back toward your heels. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Practicing staying when sometimes it can be a little challenging. We're getting good at that, so let's practice a little bit more. Excellent. Let's take one more breath here. And then slowly make your way back up to your table. Take your hands just a little bit in front of where they were. Tuck your toes. And just take a moment here to stretch your feet. It feels so good. And then when you're ready, lift your knees up off the floor. Lift your hips up toward the sky. Move any props out of the way. And we'll come into our first downward facing dog. So this inverted V shape. And just as you arrive here, walk your dog, bending one knee and then the other. Keeping your breath smooth and long. And then find stillness here. Send those heels toward the floor. So, there's always, for me, a little gap between my heels and the floor. Sometimes it's nice to tuck a rolled blanket there for support. But just a reminder that we're not going for flat feet here. Not in this shape anyway. Take a nice big breath and look forward. Come up on your toes, and then we'll take a gentle walk forward to the front of your mat and come into a ragdoll. Find your elbows here and just rock from side to side, keeping a generous bend in the knees, especially if you have lower back issues or they're tender, your back is tender today. Take a nice big breath in, and then we'll bend the knees and slowly roll up, rooting into your feet to rise up to a tall mountain pose and reach up with your fingertips. Get really long. Look up. And then exhale your hands down to heart center. We'll pause here. As we've moved from the floor to a standing pose, let's just take a moment to appreciate the journey. And then release your hands, open up those palms. So these open palms, a gesture of receptivity. We can be here and yet be open to what is to come. Take a nice big breath in. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, swan dive forward. Bending your knees as much as you need to, bringing your fingertips to the floor, or a good time to grab your blocks. Inhale, come into a halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. So hands can come to your shins. And then exhale, take your hands to the mat. We're going to take our right foot back and our left foot back. And always the option to come to your knees, tops of the feet, come to the floor. And then just bend your elbows to lower yourself all the way down. Let your forehead rest on the floor. Take your hands on the outsides of your shoulders and just pause here. See if you can squeeze your elbows in toward the midline of the body. And then as you inhale next, lift up to a baby cobra. Gentle back bend. Good. On the exhale, lower your head down, tuck your toes, rise up to your downward facing dog. And just pause here. Find some stillness. Gazing back toward your knees, pressing your heels toward the floor and your hips toward the sky. On your next breath in, maybe you want to bend your knees and jump forward, or maybe take a slow walk to the front of your mat. We'll move a little faster now with our breath. So take some wrist circles in your forward fold, and then maybe find your ragdoll again, and then bend your knees root to rise. Inhale, rise up. This time take a hold of the right wrist, lean left. Good. Inhale, reach up, look up, and take a hold of the left wrist, lean right. Beautiful. Inhale, reach up and look up. And this time we're going to sink down, coming into a chair pose. So sink your hips back. You can bring your knees to touch and your toes to touch if you like, or keep them hip width, whichever feels right for you today. And then as you're ready, on your exhalation, forward fold, straighten your legs, come into your forward fold. Release the head, neck, and shoulders, shake it out, yes and no. Inhale, come to your halfway lift again. And exhale, take your hands to the mat, step your right foot back and your left. Bend your elbows, lower all the way down through your knees or through your plank pose. Take your hands to the outsides of your shoulders, squeeze your elbows into the midline, and rise up, coming into an upward facing dog. So shoulders draw toward one another, shoulder blades drawing together as you lift your knees off the floor. Get a little more powerful back bend. Exhale as you come into your downward facing dog. And pause here. Good. Lift your hips a little higher, send your heels a little lower. Breathe in, you can do it. We'll stay. Yeah. Soften the back of the neck as you inhale, lift your right leg high. Maybe take an ankle circle or two. And then draw your nose towards your knee and bring your belly to your spine. Inhale, lift your leg again. Look forward and step that right leg all the way to the front of the mat. Rise up, send your arms up, come into your crescent pose. Strong crescent warrior pose, drawing your pinky fingers toward one another, that right knee over the left. Breathe in here. Good. Breathe out. Stay. Palms open but facing one another and shoulders drawing down the back. Strong pose. We're going to take the right arm and send it back. Take a little twist. Test your balance. Left arm forward, right arm back. Open those shoulders. Good. Breathe in. And then just slowly take that left hand down to the inside of the left foot. Right arm stays lifted and we're in a twist. Good, keeping those hips square, same position pretty much. Good, breathe in and breathe out. As you're ready, we're going to turn forward again, rise up to that crescent. Reach up with the fingertips, draw the shoulders down, and then spin that back foot so it's flat and at an angle. And we'll come into our warrior two. So the fingertips are reaching from the shoulders and the shoulders are down and back. Yes, look forward. Good, breathe in and breathe out. Good, inhale, flip that right hand, flip the palm so it's reaching up but way open. And then take that left hand around behind you for a half bind and lean back, peaceful, peaceful warrior. Good, breathe in and breathe out as I look at the sign on my wall, which always makes me smile. It says, when you realize how perfect everything is, you will tilt your head back and laugh at the sky. I love that. On your exhale, we're going to bring our hands down to frame this left foot and lower the left knee. Okay, so now here's a place where if you have a hard surface beneath you, you might want to tuck something under your left knee. We're coming into lizard pose. So we will be here for several rounds of breath on this side. So always the option also to stack your blocks, find a little landing spot for yourself. It's a deep stretch for this right leg, right hip, right inner thigh. And it's okay if this right knee splays out a little, and it's even okay if the left side of the right foot opens up. Just find that place where you can stay and just be present here. And if your blocks are not needed and you want to come all the way down to the floor, we'll be here for 3 more breaths. So see if you can find a place where you can stay. So there's an edge to this shape, if you haven't noticed yet. Just explore the edges without going deeper than you are ready. Keep your breath moving smooth and steady. Let's take one more breath together. Exhale deeply and fully, and then take your hands to the mat. We'll tuck our left toes, send our right foot back to meet the left into downward facing dog. And then take your right foot back up to the sky, bend your knee, come into that fire hydrant pose, that familiar fire hydrant, and just take some hip circles here. Good, breathe in, send that foot high again, and then look forward. We're going to come into another challenging stretch to stay in. It is Pigeon Pose. So we're going to take our right knee behind our right wrist and our left leg extends long. And here, shine your heart, draw your shoulders down away, and then decide if you're going to use your props to give you a little support as you practice staying. Breathing in, maybe close your eyes here. And breathing out. So we're hitting a different part of the hip here. So see if you can soften wherever you can. Also, always the option to tuck a blanket under that right hip. Notice where you're holding tension. See if you can release it wherever that may be. So soften the face, soften the jaw, the back of the neck, etc., etc., etc. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Excellent. When you're ready, slowly press your hands into the mat. Come on up. So you get that sensation of a bit of a back bend as you do, and tuck the left toes Send that right leg back to meet the left. Come into your downward facing dog. Feel free to walk your dog or take that fire hydrant pose, whatever feels right for you. Lift the hips a little higher, send the heels a little lower, and then inhale as you lift your left leg up, get long, and exhale as you bring your nose towards your knee, round, draw the belly into the spine. Good, inhale, reach that leg long and then look forward and step that left leg forward. We're going to rise on up, coming to our crescent lunge. Good, breathe in, breathe out. Draw those pinkies toward one another. Embrace the wobble. So if you're wobbling a little bit, you know, this is a balance challenge. So here we are. Let's do this together. Breathe in. Breathe out. Take that right arm forward. The left arm opens up. Take your twist. So a little more wobbly here maybe. Good. Enjoy it. Enjoy how your body makes balancing fun. The right and the left side are always doing these little balancing acts, trying to keep us centered and balanced. Good. Breathe in. And as you exhale, take this right hand down to the floor or your block. Keep that left arm lifted. Take a gentle twist. Good. Breathe in. And breathe out. As you exhale, take your left hand down to meet your right. We'll slowly rise up to our crescent and then open up to your warrior two. So bending that left leg, reaching out from the shoulders, fingertips, extending, taking up space. As you're ready, take your peaceful warrior, reach up and back, and you can take your right arm back behind you for a reverse, a half bind on the back side. Breathe in. Good. Breathe out. Come back through your warrior two and then turn forward. Take your fingertips to the floor. Lower your right knee. You might want to take your blanket, tuck it under there, and then take your hands to the inside of the left foot. We'll come into our lizard here. Challenging, but doable, right? So take your elbows to the floor or blocks. Close your eyes. And just let this stretch. Let this shape create a little more flexibility on this left side. Soften the back of the neck. Soften the breath. Allow your inhalation to be long, full, reaching into every nook and cranny of your lungs and maybe sending some of that breath to places that are feeling challenged. And someone in class asked me once, what does that mean to send your breath to these places? Well, for me, it's an imagination exercise. So just imagine that your breath is traveling into those nooks and crannies, allowing them to soften, allowing them to put up less of a fight, a little less resistance. Let's take one more full breath together. And as you exhale, take your hands to the floor. Frame that left foot, tuck your right toes, lift your left leg back to meet your right in downward facing dog. And find stillness here, or lift your left leg up, take a fire hydrant. Maybe circle the ankle out if that feels good. And as you're ready, inhale that left leg long, look forward, bring your left leg forward and come into your pigeon here. So that left knee comes behind the left wrist and your right leg goes long. You want to look back at your right leg, make sure it's really extended long, and then shine your heart, and then eventually lower yourself down. Find your staying place. Where can you find a place to stay? So blocks are so good here. You can even take your forehead down to your block, resting your third eye, keeping your breath slow, keeping your breath long. Excellent. Reminder that if you feel some air between your left hip and the floor, you can tuck your blanket there. That might give you that sensation of support so that you can soften. Wherever we can find support these days, it's good to accept. It gives us more support, gives us more of the opportunity to be a support to others. And we can't all be strong at the same time. Sometimes we need to lean on others. Professionals and non-professionals. All right, let's take one more breath. Good. And as you're ready, peel your way back up. Take your hands to the mat. Tuck your right foot, send your left foot back. Maybe you want to take some hip circles here with that left leg. And then find your downward facing dog. Lift your hips one more time. Send your heels back toward the floor. And just stay. Feel that length in your spine. Feel the breath moving through your body and the strength of your shoulders, the length of your legs. And then as you're ready, come forward through your table, lower your knees down, and then lower your hips to the floor. We'll keep that left leg bent and take the right leg, cross it over. Take a gentle twist here. So give yourself a nice hug. Take your right hand behind you and take a slow gaze over that right shoulder. Twisting from the left side of the rib cage. Just enjoy this twist. Feel your breath. And then on your exhale, unwind, let that go. We'll switch sides, just giving our innards a little massage. So take that left hand behind you. Give yourself a hug. Breathe. Turn your gaze toward that left shoulder. Good. Nice breath in and a long breath out. And then a slow unwinding. And then we'll come down to our mats. So keep your blanket handy and just slowly lower down, just one vertebra at a time, until you come all the way down to your mat. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice squeeze. Take some circles. I don't think I ever practice yoga without circling out my knees because that lower back massage is so nice. Good. Breathe in and breathe out. Hug your knees into your chest. Take another twist toward the right. Open up that left shoulder and take your gaze in that direction. So you can take your right hand and gently press down on the left thigh so that you get a little more of a twist. Take a full breath in. See if you can give yourself that spinal adjustment. Good. Full breath out. And then draw your knees back to your chest. Hug them in. Take some circles if you like. Switch directions. And then we'll slowly lower the knees over to the left. Take your left hand on the outside of the right leg. Open up that right arm. Turn your gaze in that direction. Let the shoulders open. Good. Breathe in. Breathe out. Another full breath in as you soften in this twist. And completely let go. Good. As you're ready, knees come back to center. Find your way to your Shavasana. Let your legs extend. Let them come wide on your mat. Let your arms rest, palms face up, open, receptive. Just let your practice integrate. Just as our lives over time integrate all of our experiences, those we deem positive and negative, those we deem joyful and sorrowful, over time they integrate into one life that is ours. So thus, our Shavasana provides this opportunity to let all the shapes, all the breathing, the whole experience of this practice culminates with a period of rest. So give yourself that opportunity to rest so that you can integrate. It's a good thing. You cannot know it now, cannot even imagine what lies ahead. But I tell you, the day is coming when breath will fill your lungs as it never has before. And with your own ears, you will hear words coming to you new and startling. You will dream dreams, and you will see the world ablaze with blessing. Wait for it. Still yourself. Stay. As you're ready, begin to make some small movements with the body, wiggling fingers and toes, turning your head from side to side. And then take a moment, turn to one side, rest in that fetal position, and just notice. Notice how far you've come. Embrace the journey. And when you're ready, use the strength of your arms to press yourself up to a comfortable seat. Maybe use your blanket to prop yourself up. This will give you something to compare where we began and where we end. Notice a little more openness in the hips, perhaps. A little smile on the lips. It almost rhymes. When you're ready, take your arms out, reach up for all the goodness. Take a look up. Things are looking up. Take your palms together, bring your hands to your heart center in prayer. Let your chin come to your chest. And take a moment to give yourself kudos for showing up, for being present to yourself, and for staying, even when things get a little challenging. And And if you have some extra mojo, send it out to someone who could use it. A prayer, a good thought goes a long way. Thank you guys for practicing, for staying together. Namaste. Have a great day, you guys.